Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Think of all that time. Every wait in the winter. Think of all that time. Those hours no one else every sprint in the summer. Every wait in the winter. Every sacrifice. Early mornings on the levee. Late nights in the film room. Bus rides to playoff games. Every bump in the road. Every moment of ecstasy. Every moment of doubt. Years wondering, is it all worth it? It's all led to this. Man, I got this. It's a 60-minute drive for a 60-minute game. After all the miles we've traveled, we're almost there. After all the hours we've worked, one more can make us legends. After all that time, this is our time.
Seems like no nonsense guy. Like he's
re-emphasize that for the Saints fans out there on TikTok. Caveman, what did you just say?
The rebuild starts right now. Marshawn Lattimore's gone, so the defense, like we're not getting any better.
Looking to get into Smith. What a pass! Not Gabe! Guardell Smith with the game winner! Oh my goodness!
And that is why you have Aaron Fry pass the ball in.
A career year, and like you have you have the best quarterback in the league, arguably the best wide receiver in the league, and you've got the best edge rusher in terms of total sacks this season. And you're 4-7, and your playoff chances are hanging on by a thread.
As true as day is night, my friend. Death, taxes, and the Chicago Bears losing to the Green Bay Packers. It's what it is. It's what it's always going to be.
Let's make it interesting.
We're making it interesting. Come on. Give us the freaking moment. We'll take it.
Oh, no!
Oh, no.
Put him in there.
Biz knocked me off, though.
Who the heck is that guy?
Deflected good, help defense from the Warriors. Oh, what a pass! And Kuminga throws it down! This could be the pass of the year so far. You might watch every game the rest of the season in the NBA.
Mr. Announcer guy. So don't you go saying that you're never going to see that.
You're such a hater.
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
We are live till the final whistle. Happy New Year, everybody.
2025.
Good to be back. I haven't seen all of you since last year.
It's been a while.
Miss you guys.
We missed our chance at the dad joke on Monday. We
did. I had to capitalize on it.
Had to throw it in.
Exactly.
How was everyone's New Year though? Let us know in the comments. If you guys celebrated, partied hard, let us know. I didn't really do too much last night. I was just relaxing, watched some football, hung out with my family for a little bit.
I was playing. It's like this new version of like Trivia Pursuit. It's called Outsmarted. You can like play it on an app, or like I was at with Chicken Little's house. He's got like this projector that like he can play it off of his phone screen. I game gets like heated. It's
like one of those Jackbox party games.
Kind of like that. Yeah, after the Boise State game, we sat down to do a round of that. It takes like a while. Like, it was like a 2-hour game because there's 6 people playing. You got to like roll the dice.
Pretty cool.
But it was it was quite a battle. Right, you'll be like watching somebody get like questions that are just so easy to you, and then you get like something. You're like, this is like what the most obscure knowledge. What the hell are you doing to me, game?
Is that when you were getting the sports trivia questions that you were telling us about?
Yeah, it was that same game where we did different categories this time, but yeah, I had to like figure out like which Native American people invented the sport of lacrosse. I can't believe Jim
right off
that. He knew that like immediately.
Jimmy knew that right away.
But he didn't know that he was dog sitting for his buddy until last night. So that's why Jimmy Covers is not here today to help us.
Sorry, everyone.
Break down Monday Night Football. What a game. Game that was exact type of game I needed for me to win my fantasy championship in the league when I had 4 Niners players. Don't ask me how that ended up happening, but
how that even got to the championship.
Yeah.
Too. Their season has been tough.
Thank you, Saquon Barkley. I started sitting Deebo Samuel and just playing other people.
That's for your best bet right there. That's a smart option.
It really helped. But yeah, I think my first big observation, that Lions run game might be okay with Jimmy or Gibbs shouldering the load a lot. He ran the ball pretty well, 18 carries, $117, 1 touchdown. But that O-line, that they've stayed healthy. They just get behind their pads and they'll just bully you over.
Yeah, they're maulers.
Craig Reynolds came in, had 7 carries. He wasn't bad in that either. Jamar Jefferson guy had a couple of carries too. So I think that line stays healthy. The Lions offense might be all right with their run game. That's in the playoffs. Jameer kind of showed a lot of ability to run in between the tackles in that game too. That really impressed me. Like he wasn't just, like outside stretch runs, it was.
Yeah, they kind of utilized him the same way that they do with Montgomery.
They did, yeah.
And he only got 18 carries. Yeah. That's like an average game for him when they have Monty too, because they're both going to get like 18, 20.
Exactly. And again, that line being able to hold up and protect Goff, he's dealing too. That'll really help him. 26 of 34 on the game, 303 and 3 touchdowns. Completed 26 different passes to 6 different receivers. Best game of the year in terms of just like total volume and production that Sam Laporta had too, which
he was getting it a lot.
If you need a time for that guy to start playing well, this is a good time.
He was taking some shots too, man. He had one catch got broken up in the back of the end zone, but he took a shot from the safety.
Yeah, he did.
Went right down on his back. He really couldn't even brace himself because he's going to catch the ball.
Yeah.
But he's a trooper, and that team is banged up. If they can just score 40 points on you, man, they kind of have you. Because they're not stopping a parked car.
That's going to be the thing for the Lions is like, you're going to have to, this offense is going to have to score, and they're kind of going to have to be perfect because turnover or something is not going to be good for you. You're going to need to score on most of your possessions. I just don't know how sustainable that is in the playoffs. Maybe late in the game, it seemed like they kind of got some things figured out defensively. The Niners weren't moving the ball quite at will there in that second half. Obviously only 13 points scored by San Fran in the second half, which isn't a ton, But again, it just was, a lot of concern there with just how easily the Niners moved the ball.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check your spelling first before taking off your shirts.
Stu, Virginia.
So check Allstate first for a quote that can save you hundreds.
Third down and 12.
Sorry about that, everyone. The ESPN just decided they were going to unmute this little side video they had on there.
Oh, they always have the little They always have the little highlights playing on the bottom.
I'm like, that was like hidden too. I couldn't see it. All right.
The Niners also, they missed out on 7 points, and that's all from Jake Movie. They lost by 6.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It was quite literally, he did lose in the game. Missed extra point, a missed field goal, 2 missed field goals. That's 7 right there. Yeah. I can't believe they spent the 3rd round pick on this dude.
And that onside kick attempt was just awful.
That's really bad. Yeah.
Jesus. Just skipped straight out of bounds.
I don't think you can put the blame solely on Moody. I mean, Purdy did have a couple of drives that were looking promising, and then he threw 2 boneheaded picks, in my opinion. They did not look like they were not good looking interceptions. They weren't like, what are you going to do? The defender made 2 good. Like, Kirby Joseph did not have to try too hard on either. One, he just overthrew the ball. And then, the other, like, Joseph hardly even moves. He's just sitting there in the middle of the field. Like, as a quarterback, you can't just be throwing that.
Yeah, that's
that inside route.
Yeah, that's
route right at him. Like, he read that all the way. He stared it down, and he could not have had 2 easier interceptions in that game.
He had such a perfect game in the first half, too. I was so impressed with how he was playing. Because everybody coming into this game, the Lions were probably projected to win by quite a bit. Even with their injuries, like, the Niners are having a really sloppy season. A lot of injury. They're down probably just as many people as the Lions are, if you really think about it. Like, just by looking at how many stars are on the team missing. That's like, Jesus. But yeah, he was like 12 for 14 when the game was still like 21-21 going into halftime. Such a good game.
It was a lot of fun to watch. I had me on the edge of my seat there.
The Niners had the lead going into halftime. It was 13-21.
Yeah,
halftime.
It was. I gotta say, coming out party here for Ricky Pearsall, man.
Oh, he went off, dude.
That was a lot of fun to watch. I was just happy to see, him have that much success.
8 for 141.
I mean, this guy got shot in the chest before the season started.
I think he got shot twice in the chest.
Right. I think, I might have hit him once in the shoulder, once in the chest. So coming off a gunshot wound, this guy he went absolutely off, as you said, read out the stat line, the 8 catches. Kind of looking like he might be the wide receiver 1 down there. Brandon Ayuk doesn't get it together. I know they just paid him. Debo, 1 catch for 5 yards. It was that little, and there was a little like push pass that was essentially a run play. He can't generate any separation at all. It's shocking. I don't like that last game he had against Miami was kind of a fluke. This guy just,
yeah.
I was watching him run routes because I put him in my fantasy lineup. Luckily, it didn't cost me, but I'm just like, oh my goodness, like the defender's with him the entire way. He doesn't like every route, just no separation at all. It's these like, I mean, I think I could genuinely run a better route. Like it's just the footwork does not look good.
He always gets so hyped up by the commentary too. They always talk about how they line him up in so many different places on the field and how they utilize him in motion all the time and hand him the ball off and pass, screen passes. and
Yeah.
then he catches one pass
Right.
for 5 yards.
He's a yak merchant. That's what he is.
And that one pass he caught was pretty much a run play, as one of those little touch passes. So,
Yeah.
like you were saying, it's a little
Like
push pass.
just because it is a forward pass, you just throw it forward. It counts as a forward pass, but it is essentially just a running play.
That was 5 of your 377 passing yards of the game.
It's a jet sweep. You just don't hand the ball off.
Yeah,
It's a
you
jet sweep.
You toss
pass.
it instead of
That's what it
handing
is.
it off. Oh, man, that game absolutely could have been one of the best Monday night games of the year, and then it turned into the Niners just kind of crapping down their leg, which was unfortunate because I just want to see a good game at this point. My team has won 5 games, 5 very sorry games, so it's like I just want to see some teams get into a shootout at this point.
Yeah. I'll say Jack Campbell being back for the Nines too. I think that's going to be pretty huge for them. He had some nice plays there.
Do they even get anyone back on their defense like before playoffs within the next 2 weeks?
I know if they get a bye, they can get, I think, a couple of guys back in the secondary. I know Carlton Davis, he can be back, I think, by the divisional round.
That's
He
not
has a
terrible.
jaw injury. They just have to survive long enough. The longer the Lions survive, the healthier they're going to get. We'll have more and more guys.
They'll slowly start.
Coming back. So, yeah, they just have to find a way to weather the storm and get healthy. It's going to be tough to do that.
I'm scared
in
about
the postseason.
Just any game where they have to play from behind. I'm a little nervous to see what happens when it's just when you kind of have to throw away your run game a little bit. Just stick to chucking and ducking it when you're down. If they're down like 2 scores in the playoffs, I don't know if like they come back from that. Like, even if it's just like a 10-point lead at the beginning of the fourth, I don't know if they could. I don't know if their defense has enough to stop that.
Yeah, I honestly think their offense has the capability to put up the points, but it has to stay close because like if they get down, right now that defense did not prove it that they have the ability to stop anything.
Yeah, a 6-win team had 34 points on you. Like that's the exact opposite.
And obviously, there's some studs on this 6-win team. They were one of the best.
NFC
went to the Super Bowl
Championship,
last year.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, we're just an offensive juggernaut for a couple of years.
Just the window's slowly looking like it's closing now.
Yeah, but like that's you're going to be playing against a lot of good teams with a lot of good players in the postseason. That's just what it is. If you're Detroit. But Dan Campbell's coaching and Ben Johnson's play calling does give me some hope for that team that they can find a way to stay alive and maybe make the Super Bowl. They would get Hutchinson back. But my gut just telling me is that you can't trust this, and I think I honestly we'll get to pick them, and I'm kind of going back and forth on this. I honestly think the Vikings might beat them next week.
I think so too, man.
I've been kind of up in the air with that, what do I think is going to happen? And honestly, right now I'm leaning more towards Minnesota in that game because I'm just like, who's going to cover Addison and Justin Jefferson? What's his face? George Kittle kind of abused them in this game. He had 8 catches for $112 as well.
Oh man!
So TJ Hawkinson, he's going to be an issue. Kittle, by the way, caught all of his targets. Had 8 targets, 8 receptions.
Dang,
that's pretty impressive to do.
Like just looking at the Lions' schedule here too. Looking at the games where they kind of got into a little bit of a shootout, they lost to the Bills. That one. Scored 42 points, but you allow 48.
Yeah.
So like 42 points is a recipe for success if you can just get a single stop. That's all they really needed in that game. Because there's no way it's way too hard to score on every single drive in the NFL. Like there's no way. they can expect the offense to do that, especially when they lost one of the two-headed monsters from their running backs in their running back room. They can't afford to lose too many people in these last 2 games. So, I mean, you might as well, at that point, do they even try to win the division?
Well, I think so. I think you do still want to have home field advantage there.
That's
if
true.
you're the Lions.
And it'll put them at the 1 seed. Having a bye will help your injuries out a little bit. It's like,
Yeah, definitely. That gives you a week to like at least get some people back and healthy.
Then you're not fully
And
limping in.
also, I mean, like Detroit had the earliest possible bye week an NFL team could get. That's what they were saying on the broadcast, and it's a good point that they brought up. Like, it is a tired football team. That's a lot of weeks of football to play without a break to sustain all these injuries. It's a lot of mental and physical wear and tear. I think just the first round bye would be great to get this team rested up, and because I don't think a week off would hurt them. You know, obviously they're gonna have to play their starters and everything to win the division and get that first round bye. And I think it's more beneficial to the Lions than it is to the Vikings, although the Vikings would certainly love to have the 1 seed as well. That playing up there in Minnesota, man, it's weird. It's like another planet almost.
The energy in there is crazy. It's like going to another country and playing.
The skull horn, the skull siren going off, or the horn, whatever it is.
Anytime a big play happens, you got a Viking horn in your ears. Yeah, their bye week was week 5, so they've been playing since week 6, with not playing any easy opponents really, because they're the NFC North.
Right. I mean,
so
they've had
played
a gauntlet of opponents.
Yeah, they played the Packers and the Vikings. Played the Packers twice in that stretch and the Vikings once. So
not to mention the
Bills.
Yeah.
Going up against that Niners offense was really tough for them. They had a few easier matchups in this season, but like their divisional games are tough enough as it is. They had their proving ground is just playing the Packers and the Vikings twice, honestly.
And they have a real opportunity to come out of this and the best division in football and sweep them, though, if they do beat the Vikings on Sunday Night Football here.
Sweep the 2 top teams, 2 teams with over 10 wins.
Yeah.
They're sweeping them both.
I can't wait for this Sunday night game. I mean, this is the first time we've ever had 2 14-win teams playing each other.
I'm so hyped on that.
To end the regular season. That is absolutely nuts.
And I do want to see 3 teams from the AFC West make it. I honestly think the Broncos are going to win because I don't think anyone wants to play the Bengals. I think they might just allow you guys to clinch it here.
Yeah, Kansas City, they're going to probably I think they would rather have the Broncos in there. Nobody in the AFC wants the Bengals to make it. Like Buffalo's like, we do not want Joe Burrow. First round.
They would sneak through. That team, if they made the playoffs, has a chance to be on some Eli Manning. If you look at the teams in the NFC, going that gauntlet to the Super Bowl in the AFC, and then you got to go play someone like the Eagles, Vikings, Lions, Packers, Rams. So many good teams over there. It is insane. Commanders. Like there's the amount of double-digit win teams that are over there in the NFC.
Yeah, I feel like nobody's talking about Miami though. They have a more realistic shot of making it than the Bengals. Because I mean, like, come on, they play the Jets. They beat the Jets and Cincinnati's out. It doesn't matter what happens in that Broncos game.
Oh, dude, unless they're not going to win that game unless Tyrod Taylor plays the entire game. There's no way.
Yeah, will Aaron Rodgers' ego allow that? Probably not.
Maybe until they're down 33 points.
Yeah. Well, the thing that might give the Jets a chance, I don't know, like Tua probably won't play. Which has kind of been a disaster for Miami in the past. It didn't really hurt them too badly against Cleveland, though. I think Huntley, they actually threw the ball to Tyreek Hill still. Like, he was able to throw it to him. And he looked, outright serviceable in that game. I think he could do the same thing against the Jets if McDaniels draws up the right plays. But I still think it's going to probably beat the Broncos.
Yeah.
Imagine they'll win that game and sneak in there.
And honestly, it makes for some better playoff games. I think the Broncos have a better chance to play some teams more close in the playoffs than the Dolphins do. Like,
I just think the defense needs to stop trolling. That's the big thing. But if they do that, they can play like September through November Broncos, and not what we've been doing, what we did in the month of December. Because we went from we were one of the best defenses in the league, and then the month of December, I don't know if we were statistically the worst off the top of my head, but we were definitely one of the worst. But I wouldn't be surprised if we were the worst defense statistically this season, just with how bad we played in some of these games. But the Colts game was really the only solid defensive outing. I mean, the Cleveland game, we had a couple of defensive scores, didn't give up a ton of yards, but Chargers game, we got shredded, especially in the second half. Burrow threw for 412 yards on us last Saturday. Got some things to tighten up around there, to tighten up the ship. That's the Monday night recap. You got any heroes or zeros for me here?
My zero, I'm not fully putting the blame on him, but my zero is Jake Moody. 3rd round pick kicker. Come on now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of teams that don't even have their starting kicker, and the guy's still making kicks.
So
that's just not the Falcons.
That's probably the first guy that's got to be gone from the Niners.
Oh yeah.
Bring somebody in, dude. He has been pretty bad this year. I'm gonna pull up his season stats here. Well, give me your hero real quick.
My hero of that game. Got to give it to him. Kirby Joseph, dude. He got hand delivered those interceptions, but he was the only one that actually was making plays for the defense. So that saved him the game.
Yeah, and the 2 very good looking drives there for the 49ers.
Also, another hero I have is Teddy Bridgewater, coaching a high school to a state championship, undefeated season, and then just signing randomly with the Detroit Lions, getting ready for some postseason play. Dude, why not? I remember in 2017 when Drew Brees got injured. Dude came in and won 5 games as a starter. It was amazing. Miss Teddy too, Gloves.
Oh.
Miss him. That guy deserves so much better.
Dude, I just was happy to see him be able to have a career still after he, his ACL got destroyed like it did in Minnesota.
And then he came back from that injury and got a really bad concussion play similar to that Trevor Lawrence hit we saw this year. He got injured so many times. Just really stuff that is out of his control. Unfortunate.
Yes, I like that. That's a good hero for the game.
Yep.
I'm just bringing it back to Jake Moody, looking at his stats on the season. So he's 23 of 32 on field goals. He is perfect inside of 40 yards, but he's 6 of 10 from 40 to 49 and 3 of 8, 50 plus. I mean, we got guys that have made 3 50-yard field goals in a game this year.
Yeah.
I mean, if your kicker can't kick it, I mean, in this day and age of the NFL, if your kicker can't make a 50-yard field goal, you're in some trouble. You're at a significant disadvantage to other teams. Other teams that just need to cross the 50, get their guy in range, and they got a shot to make it.
It's kind of a requirement. Yeah. There's some teams, dude, they could honestly beat some of these teams off of field goals. Just cross the 50, have your guy kicking it from the edge of your logo, and if he sinks it every time, your defense is playing good enough.
The Steelers won 2 separate games just off of Chris Boswell kicking 6 field goals.
Yep.
He's played good defense, and then he just could bury it from pretty much anywhere. once they got past the 50. So 72% on the year, not too great. But we're gonna go to my hero of the game, Ricky Pearsall.
Oh
I know
yeah,
they lost, but what an amazing performance. That's got to feel so great for the young man.
breakout game.
Yeah, no, definitely. Just much deserved too. And an incredible story of what he overcame to just be out there on that field playing football. That was special. That was a lot of fun to watch. My zero is his counterpart on the 49ers receiving core, Deebo Samuel. Yeah, I just don't know what the issue with that guy is. He's had like 2 good games this season, and it's just been.
It might have helped him a little bit if he could get open to catch more than one pass.
I don't know exactly what his contract is looking like, but if you're the Niners, it's like at what point do you? I mean, yeah, you obviously think C-Mac's going to probably be healthy. You got Garendo, they've got something nice there. I mean, what do you like? Tell Deebo, look, like you're either a running back now or you're traded. That's what you're off the team. What do you do with him?
This only pass he caught was behind the line of scrimmage. That's not normal.
No,
for an NFL
for a guy that's
receiver.
supposed to be the wide receiver one. Like, what are we talking about?
Especially now, you have no Ayuk. Your offensive line's banged up. Like your guys have been in and out and spotty. This is like his moment to just have him and Purdy should be having one of the best connections right now in the league.
Ayuk and Christian McCaffrey healthy. Deebo is the 6th best pass catcher on that team. Like, obviously, you're gonna Ayuk, Juwan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall, George Kittle, CMC. I mean, Garendo had a crazy catch in that one where I'm like, maybe he's better. Where like he caught that wheel route where he had to make an adjustment because Purdy had to kind of gave him a wild throw off of pressure. Kyle's Juszczyk might be a better pass catcher. Like and route runner.
Juice, same thing with Juice, man. He can run after the catch.
He can.
He's a big dude. Once he gets moving, man, it's hard to bring him down. Kittle, same thing.
Tight end.
Yards after catch with that speed. You get him in just a little bit of space, he'll burn you. And he's pretty much impossible to tackle. He's so big. Like at this point, I'm agreeing with you here. Start thinking about what they could do with that. They just signed him, but like, come on. It's getting to a point now. It's like kind of too little, too late.
Yeah,
they got nothing out of him this year.
They've needed you to step up too. He just you can get him an open field. I mean, who knows what's gonna happen? But like, you've got to generate separation, brother. And you just cannot do that.
And I mean, just developing the route tree is one thing. Like it's really only running like 3 routes.
Yeah, it's
a few routes a game. It's not really like he's giving anyone where it gets to the point where it's predictable for a defender. Like that's why he doesn't get so much separation because they kind of figure out what you can do right away.
Exactly.
And if you're the number 1 receiver or supposedly the number 1 receiver and you're getting boxed the whole game, it's like you're making somebody else look very, very good a week in, week out.
All right, that is the Monday night recap. Let's from the pros to college. We had our first quarterfinal matchup of the college football playoff last night between the Penn State Nittany Lions and the Boise State Broncos. Penn State coming out on top, 31-14. This game a little closer than the final score would suggest. I would say though, Boise
a little bit.
Boise State looked like they were on their way to getting blown out. Obviously, they were down 14-0 at the end of the first half. And you're like, oh, here we go again. And then they fought their way back in this. They made it a ball game at points. And I think it's just a tale of execution here for the Broncos. Some promising drives just ended disappointingly, whether it be turnovers or missed field goals. Their defense, I think, played pretty well, but the offense did kind of let them down with the turnovers, the missed field goals. They just left a lot of points on the board that I think this game could have been very differently had they just been able to capitalize on that a little bit.
Their defense, though, did have some positives in pass rush. Like once Drew Aller got back to pass, there was some pretty good blitz packages that they brought at him. It was really just when it came to stopping the run and eventually that big play action pass breakout, they were scoring really quick at some point in this game too. It's like that is not even Penn State. They're like Penn State hardly ever takes the top off, and I feel like we saw Drew Aller have a lot of ability to just throw the ball deep in this game. Like opening up their offense for the rest of the playoffs too, because they're playing a lot of teams that are going to play fast later on. It's like if Georgia wins, they got to go and play Georgia, a team that can score on you in one play.
Yeah.
And their defensive line is just as tough.
So, that Georgia game might be a little different with Carson Beck obviously done for the year.
Oh yeah,
they may have to slow it down. I think that, which also, I mean, Penn State can do that with you too, though. Katron Allen, Nicholas Singleton, those dudes, 17 for 134, 12 for 87. They contributed to all the positive runs for Penn State, resulting in 216 yards on the ground.
That Katron Allen dude, he had a huge run. It got called back from a holding. They had
a couple that got called back too. They could have had even more. Where I'm like, those guys were finishing runs, like running through people, making guys miss. Singleton kind of put it away after Boise turnover. He ripped off a long one, a 58-yard touchdown. That was that. That was about it.
Katron Allen in the first half. I got to find this on TikTok or something and play it. He trucked a safety on Boise State. Dude flew back, pinballed him like 10 yards. It got held back by a holding. They had to go back 10 yards. But it was probably one of the best plays of the day. Just seeing that truck right there. He found a guy that he could run over and just ran straight at him. He had multiple open lanes, but he just chose to run through a guy. It's amazing. You love to see it. But to go back about the pace of play, if Georgia has to slow it down, they're playing right into Penn State's hand. I think that's not really too favorable of a matchup for Georgia if you're just letting them kind of control the time of possession. If you just keep the offense off the field for Georgia, like eventually, those big guys on that defensive line are going to tire out. Their productivity is probably going to drop a little bit if you're just on the field running it down their throat every single play. Like every few plays, it's a running between the tackles. Play an old school brand of football at Penn State.
I will say they got definitely waiting to see what the update on Abdul Kardu's injury is. He got hurt in that one, did not return to the game. Could be costly for Penn State there. Obviously, the great edge rusher there, but that entire defensive front, that secondary, is playing really well. They picked off Maddox Matson 3 times. I mean, he was some of those interceptions. He was trying to make a play happen on 3rd and long. The last one, he's just like they're down 17. And he's chucking the ball to the end zone with like less than a minute left. Yeah. It gets kicked off. Like, right. Well, what are you gonna do? You're trying to make something happen. You're kind of desperation mode. I think it was a terrible game out of him. Take away the 3 picks. He's 23 of 35, 304 touchdown. Did have a better QBR than Drew Aller, 86.1. Aller just had a 45. And Aller threw 3 touchdowns, but he was 13 to 25. Buck 71. Like you were saying, like Penn State was trying to throw it deep. I felt like a lot of their deep balls just weren't hitting. Like it was either there's just when I was watching, it was like a lot of there did seem to be like some miscommunication, or Aller just wasn't that accurate. But he was like once they got that ball in the red zone, he was good. Like he was dotting up.
He could make some nice throws in the red area. I think that's kind of what it is like, I don't know if he really trusts himself throwing the ball that deep. Maybe it's like a confidence thing on it. Because there was a few plays where like he could have had the guy and just kind of missed it. Like one play, it almost got intercepted. The guy had to step on it, but he underthrew it, and it was like 5 yards to the right of the receiver. It's closer to the safety than it was his guy. It was like the receiver the DB pretty much ran the route for him.
Drew Aller is a very good quarterback to have when your team's got a lead and you can run the ball a lot. You don't need him to throw it very often. I just don't think he's all that good when he's got to be the engine for the offense. I just don't think he's got it. And
they keep it to like quick game, maybe.
Yeah.
You still have to find a way to get downfield on that, which I don't know. It's not easy to gain yards against in the playoffs, especially.
I mean, if he was struggling to throw like this against Boise's secondary, no disrespect to them, they played really well. But like if you're going to get Georgia or Notre Dame in the next round, I mean, those are, if you're going to have just a terrible day trying to throw it on Notre Dame and or Georgia, whoever comes out on top on that game tonight. All right. We didn't really talk about, let's talk about Ashton Jeanty. What did you see from him in this game?
He was just getting swarmed.
Yeah.
The game plan for Penn State was to just tackle number 2.
Make anybody but him beat you.
Pretty much. And it worked. It worked out really well for him.
I don't know if I've ever seen that many 8-man boxes in my life.
It was just every play. I feel like sometimes they would go out there, you're like, just leave the guy open.
Literally.
just tackle number 2.
It's 1st and 10. Yeah, we're sending 9. I don't care.
We're going to just blitz everybody right here. All 11 of you guys just go after, just go and tackle number 2. Yeah, he got the ball 30 times out of the backfield.
Still managed to get 104 yards. A couple of uncharacteristic fumbles from him. I just don't think, he was kind of used to rushing against all these like Mountain West defenses. It's just, you come up against a Big Ten defense that just and a team that really does thrive more on their defense. I know they played Oregon earlier in the year, but Oregon's strength is their offense. And he just, like a team that they're going to attack the ball. Penn State lives for these turnovers, so I don't think he was, they were early fumbles. He was much better about protecting the ball later in the game.
I mean, you're getting hit by 4 guys at once and they're all trying to punch the ball out.
Right. Like that's tough to,
your job is so hard. Like literally everybody that went to tackle him had one hand was clenched in a fist and they were trying to punch that out.
He had a lot of runs too, where I'm like, like if that was anybody other than the best back in college football, that play's not going for anything positive. It's probably a loss. And he's turning like, these plays that should be 0 to 1 yards. He was turning some of those into 4 or 5 yard runs. Real impressive. He'll be fine at the next level in the NFL.
Oh, yeah. Because a big part of the run game is those big boys in front and how you got your blocking scheme set up. Is like you saw Saquon broke the 2000 record, but he took a picture with his O-line. It wasn't just him. He took a picture with his boys. Like, you got to appreciate the O-line. That's probably one thing, too, I want to say. Boise State's O-line just kind of showed that, like, were they ready for that situation? It's like people are trying to say the lights were too bright for Ashton Jeanty. Like, if no one's blocking for him, he can't break every tackle. He can't get off of 11 people every play.
I don't like that.
There's no way.
The lights weren't too bright. I mean, like, just Boise State's season, he was their offense. I mean, he had, like, everyone else on the team combined for something like 2,800 yards this season, and he had 24. Like, he was legitimately most of their offense this season.
Oh yeah,
like dang near accounted for half of all of their total offensive yards. That's absurd. And Penn State knew that, and they just brought as many guys as they could down. I mean, look, I don't care who you are. If you're facing 8-9 man boxes most of the game, you're not
It's impossible.
you're not going to be able to run that ball that effectively.
Penn State was like, you guys are not a threat to us in the passing game. We only care about number 2. For this entire 3-4 hours, he is going to be harassed. And they scored a rushing touchdown in their first touchdown of the game. They had to get their
it was their backup, Tyler Crow.
Tyler Crow. He's like the third string guy too.
Right, that was his only carry of the game. I think that might have been the only time the guy touched the football.
1 carry for 8 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, I didn't catch anything in the passing game. So the dude's only touch was a touchdown. So the way to capitalize on your opportunities there, Tyler.
And
we'll give you that.
That touchdown he scored was like a couple plays after Genty got the ball punched out and the offensive lineman recovered it. It's like Genty was just tired because 2 plays earlier in the possession, somebody else, one of the 3 guys that was tackling him on the play, punched the ball out on the sideline too. He was getting harassed. There was absolutely no chance that he could have had a huge game because so he can't be 11 people.
That was the problem. I knew Boise was going to run that teams. I mean, teams are just these are power conference schools that they're not going to be threatened by Matt. They're going to shut down Boise and be like, all right, beat us. And to his credit, again, I think he had a good game. He was like the opposite of Warren, where it was like outside of the 20s, he was throwing the ball really well, making some impressive throws, moving it down the field. And then he got into the red zone, and he just got too gun happy or too aggressive trying to make plays happen. I can kind of understand it from the point where they got behind the sticks a lot, and the shaky field goal kicking. It's like, yeah, maybe you don't trust your kicker. You feel like you've got to make a play, but then you didn't even give your kicker a chance. You're turning the ball over.
Yeah.
And you might be able to get away with these aggressive plays against the Mountain West defense, but this is again a Big Ten defense. So they're not going to let that. They're not going to let that slide. Well, we've been going for a while, Cam. I do think we should. We'll probably pop onto a break here.
Let's do it.
But before we do that, I believe all 3 of us, when we did our predictions earlier, had Penn State winning this game.
Yep.
But let's get to the rest of our. Actually, I think I picked Boise. I think I picked Boise to be my upset, so that didn't happen. Never. I'm going to be honest. Now that I'm thinking about it, I definitely took Boise. We're going to just recap the rest of our predictions in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, which kicks off here at 11 o'clock today. I got Texas taking down Arizona.
Yeah.
In the Rose Bowl, presented by Prudential, I know a lot of people are high on Ohio State. I'm sticking with Oregon. They're the best team in the country for a reason, undefeated for a reason. I think they are going to be just as explosive, and they were able to gash Ohio State a lot last time. I expect them to be able to do that same thing. They're going to be a high-scoring game in the Rose Bowl, though. That kicks off at 3 today. And then our nightcap, the All-State Sugar Bowl, Georgia, Notre Dame.
This one is actually close for me because I
really want to lean towards Notre Dame because Carson Beck's out. But all season, I mean, it was real they relied on those 2 good backs they got there with ETN and what's the other guy's name? Levitt, I think.
Yeah, Levitt.
And then that defense is just nasty. I mean, this could be like a 13-9 ball game, something like that. I think I'm going to stick with Georgia just because they can pretty much. I think whoever you put back there, our quarterback's kind of interchangeable. They can win with almost anybody.
Oh yeah,
back there. And it's like, I mean, it's Georgia. Like the guy behind, this guy's probably playing for them next year anyways. So whatever, he's just getting it.
He's just getting his shot early. Because Carson Beck's going to the draft, so this guy most likely would be the starter next
Gunnar
year.
Stockton's probably another 4 or 5-star recruit, anyways. Just
could be a starter on literally.
Yeah,
could be on Boise State.
Well, would probably
could be the Penn State quarterback.
Could be Notre Dame starting quarterback too.
Yeah, could be Notre Dame starting quarterback. Could be Arizona State starting quarterback. could be SMU starting court. I won't even blame Kevin Johnson. No, I'm sorry. You just took a stray. I'm sorry, Kevin Johnson.
Kevin Jennings.
Kevin Jennings.
But
You took
agreed,
another
yeah.
stray.
I'm still sticking with my Kevin Jennings.
I like that.
Future Heisman.
That's a good underdog to pick right there.
He's just electric with his legs, man. It's gonna dual threat QBs, man.
Give him some weapons, SMU.
Do that.
Come on.
All right, well, that's going to be our first segment of the show. Don't go anywhere, folks. So we're going to cover some of these NBA fights that have been happening. We got
going up, people.
We got a fun little team builder to talk about. Then we got Pick'em to come up as well. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Too big, wanting to grow up way too quick, searching for spotlights since I was 6. Hello, my name is Dream Too Big. Hello, my name is way too loud. My voice can cut right through a crowd. Got made fun of for it, but who's laughing now? Hello, my name is way too loud. I know I've had my moments and I've had heartaches. God is making miracles out of my mistakes. You can say I won't make it, and I can tell you that I don't really care. 'Cause hello, my name is going somewhere. Far. Lost all my words in a mason jar. Locked eyes with a stranger at the end of the bar. Hello, my name is You'll Go Far. Well, hello, my name is One More Try. I put too much stock in bad advice. 'Cause anything worth leaving is worth loving twice. You're never gonna leave the ground. You can tell us all about it when you come back around. Hello, my name is Get Knocked Down. Hello, my name is Stand Back Up. Keep moving even when it gets rough. I've given so much, but I ain't giving up. Hello, my name is Stand Back Up. I know I've had my moments and I've had heartaches. God is making
that each day, 22 veterans commit suicide due to PTSD. These stats shook us and urged us to do our part. After hours and hours of thinking, Beekeeping for Veterans was born. Beekeeping for Veterans combines beekeeping with mindfulness meditation. Why combine them? Here's why. Beekeeping causes positive rush of adrenaline while beekeeping. You have to be calm during it. You are mindful of your movements. Each week, a veteran will receive a mindful meditation to build emotional and mental skill sets. Mindfulness is a set of 3 attentional skills that work together: concentration, sensory clarity, and equanimity, mental calmness, composure, evenness of temper. Every time mindfulness is practiced, we build these skills. Beekeeping for Veterans not only helps veterans overcome emotional trauma, but also aids our environment, as without bees, there is no food. Come forward. The people who have supported your country now need your support.
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
And we are back. HG on the soundboard, Caveman on the mics, Jimmy Covers somewhere in Evergreen with a pack of wild dogs.
He's by my work. I'll be over there this afternoon.
Yeah, he'll have to stop by and visit.
Come see some of the residents. There's some veterans there, Jimmy. You can talk to some of the veterans.
There you go. There we go. All right. Well, the NBA ratings have been down a little bit this season.
It's
obviously,
the dog days of the season.
Yeah. It always gets good around the playoffs. We get late in the season. Playoff basketball is just something else. It's something special. Jesus, I just saw this. The Celtics beat the Raptors 125-71. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That was a slacking and a half.
The Spurs beat the Clippers 122-86.
Oh, yeah, I just saw that too. Wow, they got smacked.
The SGA dropped 40 last night on the Timberwolves.
I did hear about that.
Insane
The 12th
game.
straight win for the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're rolling. They're looking pretty good right now. Austin Reeves almost had another triple-double, 35, 9, and 10 in a 12-point loss for the Lakers to the Cavaliers. Cavaliers are 29-4.
Oh, my God.
That's just crazy, man.
Yeah, they're on top of it, dude. They're playing some really good basketball. They're one team that's like their ratings are definitely up. It's the Cavs. Come on now. Like ever since LeBron left, ratings have been down if you're watching Cavaliers basketball. This got to be the only team with no change. They went 15-0, right? Or 14-0, and then they finally lost.
I think it was 16-0, 15 or 16-0, something like that.
They didn't lose a game until the play-in tournament or the NBA Cup started.
Yeah. So however many games that was. Yeah, they've just been on a roll. Looking really good. I honestly do. I genuinely believe this could be a real threat of a team in the postseason, a real finals contender here. The Cleveland Cavaliers leading the West. Their counterpart, a team that they likely could be playing, the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are 27-5 right now.
That's the closest team to them.
They both have a 12-point differential, a plus 12-point differential, I should add. Thunder 18-5 in their conference. The Cavs are 20-4 in theirs. Cleveland, that's not a place you want to go to play, man. That team is 17-1 at home right now.
Dang.
Pretty good. Yeah,
Dang,
pretty good.
Home court advantage.
Thunder are 14-2 at home. Both teams pretty good on the road too. Obviously, they don't have a ton of losses, so whether they're at home or on the road, they are getting it done.
Yeah, they really are. Man, they can just come into town. They don't really skip a beat. They got the Thunder, one team coming in from last year. They were the 1 seed. not really skipping a beat from where they ended off the last year. Just right back. Looks like they're ready to take the 1 seed again.
Exactly. And the team that I highlighted before the season started, the Memphis Grizzlies, second place.
Followed by the
West
Rockets.
there.
Which
The
is
Rockets,
one of the
yeah.
craziest things I've ever seen.
That doesn't really shock me, though. The Grizzlies were, a 2 seed just 2 years prior. They got really
getting banged up.
Yeah, they just got ravaged by injuries last season. John Morant was suspended, then got hurt after being back for a week. Their best player. He's healthy this year. They've stayed pretty healthy. They've got some bright young players that they got on their bench as rotational pieces. They're a great defensive team. Not really surprising at all that they're in the position that they're in.
Yeah, they're right back where they were before everybody on their team just got injured or suspended. Yeah, like you're saying, Ja came back from injury, played for a week, and then he was out for the season again. It's like, all right, that was good. Good, like 6 games of Ja Morant 2023 season. We'd love to see that.
Exactly. And then the Rockets, again, not a team that really surprises me that much. Sengun was really having a breakout year last year. I think he's continued that pretty well for the most part. Jalen Green down there, Fred VanVleet. Dylan Brooks has found a nice role on that team even. You got that rookie, which one of the Thompson brothers? I always forget which one's here. Amen Thompson. All right. That's what I thought. Yeah, he's looking pretty good for him down there. And God, what was his name? Will Shepard has been good in some of his action.
They're
just
rookie. Super young.
They are. They're young. And Emike, whatever, he's a former Celtics guy. Good, good coach, man. He got. I really don't think he would have been fired from the Celtics if he hadn't gotten caught like having, a relationship with one of the team employees there or whatever. But yeah, not a team that really surprises me that they're there. Some teams that I think are kind of surprising where they are in the standings. The Kings,
Nuggets.
Yeah, I mean, them being 5th in the West is really kind of.
Oh, they moved up. Okay.
Yeah,
they were 7th a couple days ago.
I guess it's surprising that they're that high. When the one guy you have to rely on one guy so much.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm not too worried about. I'm just looking to see them make improvements and get together with Jokic there. It kind of doesn't matter where you're at. He'll be ready to go for the playoffs. Jamal Murray has historically been a historic playoff riser. I do want us to make a trade though. I would love to get one more guy in there that could you don't feel uneasy about.
Yeah, Saric ain't working out, man.
No, we need a backup big or something. Or I know the Heat are I've heard rumors of Jimmy Butler being traded to us. I've heard rumors of Zach LaVine.
Oh man, please,
yeah,
please, man.
I think awesome. Butler's probably less realistic. We just have to give up too much, especially to Miami. But I think we could probably get away with giving Chicago less or not as much. We don't have to give away maybe another top end player or as good of a player because they are looking for draft capital. Where it's
it would be draft capital that we'd have to give to the Bulls instead of more players.
Well, the Bulls are a playing team at the moment, but they were a playing team the last 2 seasons, and they were first round exits in the play-in. So
at some point they're going to be a buying team, and they're going to be looking to rebuild.
Yeah, so, I don't know when they're going to start doing that. They should do it soon because it's just come on, the Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine, Vucevic experiment did not work out.
No, it was really cool.
It was a fun, yeah.
It was really cool.
It was a lot of fun. It was cool, but it wasn't. It didn't put you over the edge. Didn't make you better than all the other
Yeah, no, because
contenders.
they went out and got some top guys, but like not some of the biggest name dudes.
Look,
Like
you've
Zach
got
LaVine's
you've got a
huge, but
great young player, Colby White, there that is incredibly improved.
that's where they need to start.
It's his team now. I think let's just start building around Colby White. Stop worrying about these other guys.
'Cause Zach LaVine, dude, like, has he ever played on a team where he is happy? Like, the Timberwolves weren't really nothing when they had him. They even had Cat.
That's
Like,
true.
I don't know. He's never. Well, I need to see this actually, because I know he's been in the playoffs. I want to see his record.
It's not great. I can tell you
Yeah,
that
it's
much.
not great.
All right. Well, I gotta say, I want to talk about some other surprises. Pelicans, 5-28, last in the West. I know
Honestly, I don't see past it, dude. They played a little better last year, but they can never seem to get it figured out with this team. It's kind of the same thing as the Bulls.
Oh, it's always tons of health issues. Like I mean, how many games have Zion, Brandon Ingram, and DeJounte Murray been on the floor together? Not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot. A
It's
few games earlier in the season. Not that
and
all that
I
much.
mean they let Vucevic go, and I just don't really feel like they brought in anybody that was as serious as a center as him. Who's even really? It's been what's his face? Has it been Jermason or Thice that's been playing the most, or Jemison, not Jermason?
I think they're using Tice more.
Yeah, and then they've had this rookie, the rookie that they got from Baylor, Yves Missy. He's been playing a little bit. It's just
He's been playing a little bit too, but
that they really didn't fill in the center position the way they needed to, and they just can't stay healthy. I think they also got a little exposed by OKC, and that's just like now the whole NBA is just abusing them there.
yeah, Zach LaVine has played in one playoff series in his entire career. He's played in one playoff series.
Wow. And obviously they did not advance.
Yeah,
in that
his
one,
playoff
so-
series record 0-1, playoff record 1-4, one playoff appearance, and it was a first round exit.
Wow.
Where he was, 20 points, 5 boards, and 6 assists a game. So you can't even really say that he wasn't really doing much.
Yeah.
Oh no, so he's had 2.
Oh.
One in 2022 with the Bulls, and one series with the Timberwolves. So
Okay. Not very memorable
8
performances
playoff
because I couldn't
games.
even remember.
Yeah, 8 playoff games, and they were gentlemen swept in each one of the series. So,
Rough.
unfortunate.
I'd say before we move on to some of these fights, the other two real surprising teams here, Suns and Kings, are both out of the plan if the season were then today. I mean,
The Kings also fired Mike Brown.
yeah, Mike Brown's gone.
Which
If you heard what Michael Malone said on it, I mean, I
I
guess
could-
I could kind of understand it. He won Coach of the Year like 2 years ago or something, didn't he?
yeah, he did.
And just no firing him while he's on his way to the airport. Very like classless move there, I gotta say. I understand it hasn't been the season you were hoping for, especially after you brought DeMar DeRozan here. You gotta feel like this is a window you gotta capitalize on when you've got Fox, Sabonis, Keegan Murray. Like it's a pretty stacked lineup there. You'd think at least, but
Keegan Murray shoots 2 for 8 in 36 minutes against the Mavs a couple
Right.
days ago. Like that doesn't really help you.
no. Like, okay, we kind of need you to step it up, Keegan. What are we doing
Like,
here?
even DeRozan that night, 6 for 13. Malik Monk was 4 of 14. Their bench, Alex Len was 2 for 7. They had a bunch of guys that played like 20 minutes, only take like 5 shots. Kevin Huerter, huge shooter for them off the bench, was 1 for 4 from 3 in 20 minutes. Like, that's more than just a coach. You can't, like, these are grown men. If they want to do it, they're going to. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't always come down to coaching.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. I think Michael Malone, he put it well. Yeah, I think this does happen a lot when the team wins. A lot of the credit it goes
on the players.
Goes to the players. When they lose, the blame oftentimes goes to the coach. Honestly, I see what he's saying. I see that more than I do really in any other sporting league, where it's like, I mean, yeah, they really look at the coaches first and they're like, well, why did these guys play so bad? And it's like sometimes it's really not that much of the coach's fault, and the guys didn't hit the shots, you know.
They just didn't have that night that they were expecting. You know, whoever was on them, with the defender, that their matchup that night was just studied so much film, and they were just boxed, couldn't do anything.
Yeah. So, still,
so it makes me fear that Malone could be fired at the end of the year if the Nuggets season.
I don't know.
He's planned. I doubt it, because
he's won us a championship. He's like our best coach in franchise history,
literally of all time.
I don't think like if he does I think like there'll be like a mutual parting of ways where like it's not if Malone's gonna go and like leave the team, it's gonna be because like he talked with ownership. I think he'll get like a very it'll be a very classy way to go. Like it'll be like we talked, and they're gonna give him his flowers and all the recognition and thanks for everything he did. It's not gonna be just a pack your shit, you're done, get out of here type deal. Yeah. Even if we do struggle, they'll be thank you for everything you did.
And even Mike Brown getting fired there, he's been a coach for a really long time.
Yeah,
coached Cavs, coached the Lakers, coached the Cavs with LeBron. I mean, he got ran out of town by LeBron out there too. So I mean,
I guess we shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, it's this recipe for bad when you're on some of these teams, because it's not always top to bottom. I think the Kings have good players, and I think Mike Brown was a good coach, but they might not have the best ownership or GM. It's like it doesn't just come down to the coach and the players all the time.
It doesn't. All right, we're gonna get a clip here of the show, just kind of highlighting some of these fights going on here in the NBA,
and it ramps up.
Yeah. So we're just going to head and jump right into it. It's been a little chippy here in the NBA recently.
It appered to go off the foot. And now Jaren Jackson Jr.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Yeah, 2 offensive fouls on Nurkic. He got his left arm up high against Gafford. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Najee Marshall and Yusuf Nurkic. There probably are going to be ejections. There might be a suspension moving forward. When Najee Marshall came to the Mavs, one of the things that people with the New Orleans Pelicans said, that if you need someone to take up for his teammates, Najee Marshall is going to do that. No questions asked. You do love to see that. However, it looks like a punch was thrown.
Thompson, they lock up. There's the toss. Yeah. Threw him down. Jovic, Rozier coming in there. There's Highsmith. I think Highsmith's
Wilson has been ejected, as well as Green, as well as Coach Udoka, as well as Coach Sullivan. Miami, both Hero and Rozier will be ejected.
Wow. There's some crazy fights there. People are getting ejected, fines being handed out. I know some people got suspended in that Heat fight. Hero got fined. Who was it that just retaliated? I just forgot his name. He got suspended 2 games. Somebody else got suspended 1. All the coaches got fined. It was Thompson, right?
I
Common,
think
yeah,
I think Thompson
he got suspended 2 games. Yeah,
I want to see.
I'll
So
say
Amen Thompson, Terry Rozier were suspended after that.
yeah. I don't know if it's just normal chippiness or if the NBA is like telling some guys like, "Hey, ratings are down. We gotta create some drama, some intrigue here." You know.
Dang. Yeah, they got a lot of fines. Jalen Green picked up 35,000.
Wow.
Hero 25,000. Ime Udoka, the Rockets head coach, got 50,000. 4 players and 2 coaches were ejected after this scuffle. That's awesome, man. And the game ended up being 99-94. Well, it was 99-94 when that happened.
Gotcha. It's a pretty close game, though. Sounds like.
Yeah. And I mean, we've seen better fights in the NBA, but I don't know if this is what people are looking for. You guys got it.
Something to make it a little more interesting in the.
Yeah, we got something.
The early season.
Stir the pot a little bit for us.
Exactly. We're coming up on the All-Star break, about a month and a half away. So.
Oh, it's gonna start slowing down even more probably before then, honestly, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least it's better than the Pro Bowl. I'll give the All-Star weekend.
It's a little more entertaining than the Pro Bowl because you get to see some crazy or funny dunks or just some wildly deep threes. It's still not that good of a game though because everyone's either it's like, oh, I can't dunk. I'm just gonna chuck a deep 3 and see if that goes in.
Yep. Chuck up a deep 3 from half court. Guys trading those back and forth. Like we had Trae Young and Luka doing that in I think it was the Rising Stars game when they were both rookies.
Yeah. So
it's really the skills challenges and the little 3-point shooting contest. That's
the
where
dunk contest. Yeah, those are fun to watch. It's the game itself is whatever.
But yeah, the All-Star game, it's normal basketball, but it's pretty much just like the flag football that's coached by Eli and Peyton. If you think about it, because they're just letting each other score, not a lot of defense. How many points got scored by the West last year? Like 200 and something points.
Oh yeah, it was like the final score was like 208 to 196.
Yeah,
nobody even tried to defend.
No, they were just chucking up shots. That was a stat padding night for everybody.
I think the best the All-Star game got was when there was just like an Elam score, and it was like that both teams were playing for their it was a draft and both teams were playing for a massive donation to the captain's charity,
Yep.
Because there was some competition there. They still got high scoring. There wasn't a crazy amount of defense, but then it got to it was down the stretch. It was really intense. Both teams when it was Giannis versus LeBron, those two were on each other, just going at it because they both really wanted to win, and everyone was there was at least a little more intensity there, some drama, some intrigue. Now, it's just they got rid of that. And it's these guys don't
give
a dude.
They're there to hang out with their buddies on the other team.
Bro, Luka and Jokic were just standing off to the side, just shooting the shit in the wind. They didn't.
Yeah, they were just talking to each other.
Yeah. They were just hanging out. Man, what do you want to they're making plans for after the game. We want to go you want to go watch some horse racing after this? I know a good bar we can go to.
Yeah. I wish that was a trade that we could see happen for the Nuggets, man. That would calm Luka down. We would see less arguing with the refs during live balls.
Right.
Less
because Jokic could just argue with the refs.
Yeah, he'll leave it up to Jokic.
He's a lot more He's more
Jokic
vocal,
is bigger.
He
does it less.
Jokic is bigger and scarier too.
Exactly.
Luka. I like Luka, but he is kind of like a big teddy bear. Jokic, with that guy he's pretty scary.
Oh yeah, big 6'10" serving guy. No, dude's terrifying.
All right. Well, what's everyone's thoughts on these fights? Does that draw your intrigue more, or are you still just waiting for the playoffs to start? Like a lot of us are. Let us know what you're thinking of the current state of the NBA. We're going to get into a very special episode of team building exercise this week.
I'm putting together a special team.
All
right. So here's what we're doing for this one. We are going to obviously spin the wheel. We're going to get a team. We're trying to build a fantasy football lineup, but not just any fantasy football lineup. It's a fantasy football lineup that could score at least 300 points is the goal.
That's the goal.
We are going to try to shoot for 350 based off of a player's best fantasy performance this year. So standard PPR scoring, your standard lineup, we're going to do quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers. We're going to have a tight end, a flex, kicker, and a defense.
All right.
And then we are just going to go and see who we can get. I've got a wheel pulled up here. So I'm just writing out our position groups, and then we're going to get into it right here. And this is best fantasy performance of the season by a player. So whatever their highest point total of the entire season was.
Hopefully we don't get shafted by the wheel. They'll screw
Yeah.
us.
I mean, you never know. You live and you die by the wheel.
That is true.
With these. I will just be going off the standardized scoring of this one league that uses the most. I'm in that uses just the most basic scoring. No bonuses or anything that would end up affecting or messing up numbers here. So loading up into that. We'll see. There we go. And we are going to go ahead and give it our first spin. What team do we get? The Bills. Well, that's an easy one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's easy.
Obviously, we're going to
Josh
take
Allen.
no, Mac Hollins. What are you talking about? No, we're going to go with Josh Allen. His game against the Rams was an all-time fantasy performance.
The 6 touchdown game.
Yep. That netted him 57.88 points.
Oh my God.
So that's a really good start. That's about as best a start we can get. So thank you.
Yeah, that's starting off hot. I'll live and die by the wheel if that's the case.
Thank you very much, Wheel. Our next spin here is the Raiders.
Well,
that's not as good.
Not horrible though, because we got one guy.
Yeah.
Potentially.
I was gonna say we could take Adams, but I'm not sure. We didn't really specify. I think we got to go with the team they're on now, right? If he got traded, then I think our only option really is
Brock
what's his
Bowers.
name? Brock Bowers. So Brock Bowers is who we'll be taking here. Well, let's see here what his best performance of the season was. Looks like that came in week 11 against Miami, where he scored 31.3 points.
And it was Devontae Adams was their leading fantasy player throughout the season, even though he got traded.
Gotcha. Well, if we get the Jets, we can go Devontae. I mean, that's probably the best option, anyways. Yeah, that monster week against Jacksonville. I gotta say though, I mean, 2 pretty good spins that we got there, so I can live with that. That was pretty huge. Let's see what our next team is. The Titans. Ooh, this is interesting here. Because who do we want to take here?
What was when Nick Westbrook Akine got that 98-yard touchdown pass? What was his numbers that game?
I don't know. That was against the Vikings. I really don't know if he did much besides that. I think he might have caught another one. I know Tony Pollard, he had a few good games. I think Calvin Ridley went off a week. So those are probably our best options here. That is a tough one here.
This one screwed us.
Yeah. Flip a coin. I because I think if we take Akina's Vikings performance, that was pretty good. Decent amount of yardage, and I think he did catch 2 touchdowns. Or we could take Pollard. I know he had a couple of games where he had a $130. I think he had a game where he had like almost $1.50 and 2 touchdowns, which might be a little bit better.
That is true.
Like, do we take Pollard as RB2 here?
Let's do that. Let's do that. I think that's not a bad idea right there.
Okay, perfect. We will take Tony Pollard. Looking over it. Oh man, maybe I was mistaken. RB2 looks like his best game this year, week 12 against Houston. Only 21.9 though.
Oh,
so we might have messed that up there.
We'll take it. I guess now that we can check though, what was Westbrook Ikhino's numbers against the Vikings?
I will.
Because we could potentially land on the Titans again.
Yeah, just in case.
Have to snag that.
It might be this isn't cheating. Don't even say it. Against the Vikings. It wasn't anything crazy. It was 19.7.
So we did make the right.
That wouldn't have even
make the right choice.
That wouldn't have even been his highest. His highest was against Washington, and he scored 21.1.
Dang.
So still,
either way, I think we got the same output.
We got slightly more points, so that'll work out for us.
We'll take it.
On the quest to 300. All right. 3 spins down. What is our fourth one here? The Saints.
Oh.
I think we got to go Kamara, our running back, too, here, right?
Yeah.
There wasn't really.
He had the best.
Right. I mean, he had a 4-touchdown game week, too. Like that's. Yeah, I think we obviously got to do that one.
Got to take him. We already got Josh Allen. I was gonna say like we could go on a whim. We can take week 2 Derek Carr.
I think 44 points on a week 2
amazing.
Alvin Kamara.
Oh yeah, give us
that'll get the job done.
Oh yeah, any day of the week.
All right, 44. I mean, so far outside of Tony Pollard, that wasn't terrible, but like some really good spins so far. Exactly what we're needing. You really do want to try to be up over 30. All of these. Well, the Jets, Devontae Adams, put him as our flex, or do we want to throw him as like our wide receiver too? I really think it's Adams because I know he had it was 9 catches for 198 and 2 touchdowns against the Jags. I don't think Wilson did anything that was better than that.
A lot of Wilson's year was at the beginning where they weren't really doing anything either.
Yeah. Let's take Adams against Jacksonville. Do we want to leave him? Let's put him at wide receiver too. Let's leave that flex spot open, just in case Yeah, just because we want to be able to give ourselves some flexibility and maybe take another running back if we need to.
We need it.
So we're gonna put Adams as our wide receiver 2 here. We're really hoping for the Bengals. We want Jamar Chase so badly.
Yeah, please.
He has a number to choose. Even if we didn't take his best fantasy performance, he has a couple that would be good.
Or CeeDee Lamb.
Adams. Oh yeah, that would be good too. Adams against Jacksonville, 42.8.
There we go.
So that was the right call there. All right. So 4 good spins, one all right one. We're back at it. We still need a defense, a kicker, a flex, and our last wide receiver position. Let's see who we got here. The Broncos, low key, Will Lutz might be the play here. I know we had some nice weeks with our defense too, where they had a couple of defensive scores. Like the Browns game wouldn't be bad. I don't know if that would be their best. Just because of all the points we gave up.
Yeah.
I feel like the games where we had our defensive touchdowns, we still did kind of give up a decent amount of points. I think there's some better defenses we could potentially get. I know Will Lutz, there were several games this year where he kicked 5 or 6 field goals for us.
I like Will Lutz pick here. I think so too. Because we kind of already filled out the other positions. We can't really go with anyone else.
Yeah.
There's a few other defenses that had some all-time performances, so we can find something.
Definitely. Yeah, so if we go with Will Lutz, week 12 against the Las Vegas Raiders, he had 22 points. That was his season high. So that's a pretty good that's a good kicker number right there.
Oh yeah.
All right. This is coming together. I think 300 we've got in the bag. 350. We're gonna need some good spins here, but we got a shot. We got a shot at it. We really do. Let's see. Next spin here. The Texans, I think leaving that flex spot open was good. I think we got to go Joe Mixon here.
Joe
right?
Mixon at flex. First guy I thought of. The only one that has played majority of the year.
All right, let's see. His best game this season came against Dallas week 11, 35.3.
Wow. Dang.
So that's really solid right there. Exactly what we needed.
Let's go. What's our total at now?
I haven't been keeping track of it. I don't want to put it all together here at the end. I can't do that mental math. I'm going to need a calculator here. But I'll read off the numbers to you once we get our last two positions filled. So we need a defense and our final wide receiver. Let's see who we get here. The Colts. Oh, let's take them against the Giants this last week.
We're not going to be like everyone else.
Man. I mean, do we just risk, do we want to save the wide receiver and just risk seeing what their best defensive performance is? Because I know they had some decent ones where it might be okay. Or do we take I know Downs had a crazy week 1 week. Alec Pierce had a couple of games where he caught multiple long touchdowns. We take one of those guys and see what we get on the defense. That's the question. Also, if you're listening, you want to bail us out, drop a yo in the comments to give us a respin.
They've only had 2 games where they've held their opponent to 10 or fewer points. I honestly say we just go with one of the receivers.
Okay, you want to do all right here. We're gonna. You think about whether we go with Pierce or Downs, because I think those are their 2 best wide receiver performances this year. All right, guys, you want to bail us out. If you want to save the challenge, drop a yo in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
not helping us.
2, 1. All right. They said let them fry.
Let's go see what Pierce. Let's see Pierce.
I'm gonna take Alec Pierce.
He had a pretty good game early in the year. One decent one where I know he got a long touchdown.
Interesting team where Alec Pierce is your wide receiver 1 in fantasy. But this is what the wheel
came down to now.
You live and you die by the wheel. Let's see. His best game was actually last week against the Giants. He scored 24.2.
Okay.
That's not terrible. It's certainly going to make 350 tough, but that isn't too bad. All right. We just really there are some pretty huge defensive performances. If we can get a team that had one of those, we can do it. We'll be all right. And we get the Raiders defense. Come on, guys. We don't want to take them. We're save the challenge. Drop us a yo. Give us a respect, please.
Help us.
We're going to drop a yo in 12.
Somebody.
11, 10, 9, 8,
Please.
7. Don't let it go down like this. 6.
Come on.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh man.
Well, we're going with the Raiders defense, so let's see
I'm pretty sure their best defensive game was against the Saints last weekend.
We'll see what they had. I mean, hopefully it's not too bad.
Week 4 against the Browns, they held them to 16 points.
All right. Their top performance of the season this year, fantasy-wise, was against the Saints last week. They scored 15 points.
Okay.
That's
something.
That's not horrible.
We could have gotten way worse.
Certainly, yeah.
Worse.
Yeah, like at least it wasn't Carolina, I suppose.
Oh, yeah. Every week, even the games they played close, every week they got scored on at will.
Yeah. All right. You got that calculator ready for me, Caveman?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to read off our team and the points they scored. So starting off at the quarterback position, we've got Josh Allen, who scored 57.88. At running back 1, Alvin Kamara, who scored 44 even. Running back 2 is Tony Pollard with 21.9. Wide receiver 1, Alec Pierce with 24.2. Wide receiver 2, Devontae Adams scoring 42.8. Tight end is Brock Bowers with 30.3. Our flex position, Joe Mixon scored 35.3. Kicker Will Lutz had 22 points. And our defense was the Raiders with 15 points.
Oh, we were so close. 293.38.
Dang it, man.
7 points.
The wheel.
7 points.
The wheel got us there with those. The Titans and those multiple Raiders spins.
Yeah, getting the Raiders twice does not help you.
Man, it sucks that we got the Colts after we had filled up all the running back slots. And
I know. We could have had that Jonathan Taylor.
I'm just curious because I do got to know. We passed on Calvin Ridley. He might have been our best option with the Titans. We may have messed up there.
Oh, that's true.
Let's see what he did this year. Yeah, if we took Ridley, his best performance was a 25.4 performance against the Chargers in week 10. So that would have been a little bit better than Alec Pierce if we took him. And then that meant we would have been able to take Jonathan Taylor. We wouldn't have hit 350, but we would have cleared 300 easily there.
Would have cleared the 300. I'll take that. We'll take that.
Oh, we'll live and learn.
That's not bad.
Certainly have to try this again some point later on. Maybe somebody does something crazy week 18 that we can add to it. But
there's
for
been
now,
so much football. It's hard to remember all these amazing performances unless it was like some record-breaking numbers, like 6 touchdown game for Josh Allen. That one's easily memorable.
Yeah.
There. Like Devontae Adams against the Jaguars when both of them are already eliminated from playoff contention.
Exactly. Jamar Tracy had a couple of monster games. So did Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. Baker Mayfield, a few 5-touchdown games to keep in mind there. That was our team builder. Let us know what you would have done differently, what we should have done. We're gonna certainly try that again.
Yeah, that one was pretty fun.
But that was a good effort there. We got close. I think our next time we'll clear 300 easily.
Oh yeah,
and we might be able to get to 350. All right. Well, it's come to that time of the show where we are gonna do
pick 'em.
Let's jump
Saturday,
into it.
man, is just the AFC North battles.
Yeah,
Baltimore, Cleveland, and Cincinnati, Pittsburgh on Saturday.
all right. Well, I'll let you go first, K-Man. Who do you got?
I'm going Baltimore over Cleveland. I think that one's kind of the gimme pick of the week, one of them. And then I'm gonna go I think Cincinnati's gonna win against Pittsburgh. I think Cincinnati pulls out another one. They have a harder road. I don't know if they make the playoffs, but I think they might squeak out a win here.
I'm there with you,
Going
K-Man.
into Pittsburgh, I think they can get it. I think they can do it. Their defense had a little bit better play against the Broncos. It's probably some of the better we've seen from them all season. But I think they can come in here and get this one out. Just don't know about playoffs yet for the Bengals. Got to see how everyone works out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other games that can decide their fate. They don't control their own destiny.
I'm right there with you on the Saturday picks. I think Baltimore takes care of business, and I think Cincinnati, team with a lot to play for, they're going to.
They just want to get a positive record.
They're going to seal up the division there.
This is a tough year for them to end. Like, at least just get above 500. That is what they're looking for. Now, first game of the Sunday slate, the Giants are going to Philly, and they're going to get probably beat because we saw a third string come in for the Eagles last week.
Right.
They played the Cowboys, and they were in Philly. But come on now, they killed them. The third string quarterback had 2 touchdown passes. I honestly think.
I think Drew Lock used his one game of the year where he played really good. So that's up. Even if Kenny Pickett or Kenny McKee's in there, I can see the Giants losing this one. They need to lose it anyway. So I'm going to go with Philly. It was kind of a toss-up there, if we're being honest. All right, Green Bay, Chicago. I'm just going Green Bay because Bears are a joke of the franchise. Packers own them.
The Packers aren't going to sit anyone because they did not beat the Vikings. So they didn't really have a chance to try to sneak in and do a higher seed. Well, they actually wouldn't have been able to get it because they got swept by the Lions. So,
yeah.
Them beating the Vikings honestly would have shored up the division for the Lions. So, honestly, the Packers made it a little more exciting. But I am going with the Packers here.
There we go. Go Pack go. All right, Falcons versus the Panthers in Atlanta. I'm going with the Falcons here. I think they need to win.
Falcons.
Yeah.
I think the Bucs are also going to beat the Saints, make the playoffs.
I do too, unfortunately. Yes. But the Falcons do need to win that game against Carolina. They're going to try pretty hard. Panthers got just absolutely shellacked by Baker Mayfield. Bijan Robinson also having one of his best games of the season last week, and now he's going to go up against Carolina's awful run defense. Should be an even better game for him. Cowboys versus the Commanders. I don't really think Washington has a ton to play for. I believe they're going to still want to win this game, though, to keep the 6th seed. So I am going to go Washington for that reason alone.
They just want to stay in the same exact position on that board. You don't want to move up or down. I mean, if you go to 5, that's okay with them too, but just kind of okay with being the 6th seed right now.
Yeah, I don't think they want to be the 6th. I don't know if they want to play Philly again.
Oh, yeah.
Philly.
That would be tough.
Although, I don't know if they want to go to LA either. Who knows? All right, we're going to go with Jacksonville, Indianapolis. I'm actually taking the Jaguars to win this game. Colts just looked sad last week. A lot of dysfunction and disarray in that organization.
Yeah.
Brian Thomas Jr. is going to have a field day. Cash that anytime touchdown prompt there. I'll be Mercury covers for the day while Jimmy's out.
I'm going to go Jacksonville too. I want to pick the Colts, but they're beefing with Pat McAfee now. They're showing why, they're just making the wrong decisions. These coaches. I remember in 2018, there was rumors spreading around that old Dan Campbell had an interview with said coach, said Colts. But they also interviewed Frank Reich that year, and they were more high on him as well. And we see how that's turning out for both teams.
Frank Reich getting fired. He's been fired twice now, I think. And that time is spent. Dan Campbell's taking the Lions to the NFC Championship. So
got fired from Colts.
Campbell went to a much more patient organization that was really willing to let him build. Because, it's smart by the line. You've been terrible for so long. Bring in a different type of coach. Let him see what you can go. Paid off.
Shout out to the Saints. He was our defensive coordinator.
Yeah, patience and perseverance, man. That's the key. All right, Texans versus the Titans. I really just don't think Houston, with the division clinched, has a whole lot to play for. I don't even know if we'll see that many of their starters. That's a team that's just trying to get into the postseason healthy. I'm actually going to take Tennessee here.
It's true.
I mean, I don't think Houston can move anywhere but the 4 seed. They're not. I mean, they've clinched the division, but whoever wins the North is going to be the 3. The Bills have locked up the 2. The Chiefs have locked up the 1. Houston can't go anywhere but the 4. You've already lost Tank Dell and CJ and Stephon Diggs. I don't think you want to risk anybody else getting hurt, and just rest them, let them take it easy. So I'm going Titans for that reason there.
Titans need to lose, but there's a few other teams that pretty much everyone's bad. So at this point, there's so you got to have three wins.
Think about that, man. Who's gonna the Titans are probably gonna want to tank this game.
That's why I think the Giants are gonna lose. I think they're just gonna fold over.
I might have to. I'm gonna stick with the Titans for now. That's one I may switch. And we have a lot of games where it's it's a second versus the teams that want to lose. What are we gonna do here?
Yeah, Buffalo and New England, the very next game. Second string guys.
I'm gonna bring up something though that I did send to you guys on the group chat last night that might fix tanking for good. That we'll discuss that slightly, but we're gonna go move on to Buffalo, New England here. I mean, the Bills definitely will be sitting their starters. I think the Patriots. This is a team that might be okay winning.
They're okay winning one. They don't really need the top 2 pick, to get a guy they need.
Right. Well, I think are they technically in the number 1 spot now?
Technically, they are. Yeah.
I think they are. It's with them though. It's you would want to if you had that, you would probably just trade back. Obviously, yeah, maybe you wouldn't mind taking Travis Hunter, but I think realistically, you're a team with a lot of cap space. Defensively, you're pretty sound on that side of the ball. For the most part, you got a guy like Christian Gonzalez. Obviously, you want to get Mason weapons, but if you drop back, I think if you're the Patriots, an offensive lineman is where you got to go. Depending on free agency. So, for them, losing this game isn't in securing the number 1 pick. That wouldn't matter that much for them because it's you likely probably just trade it back. I would just see them trading back anyways with the number 1 pick. You don't need a quarterback. Drake May's your guy of the future. You just need to get him some protection and get him some weapons.
They need some help.
And Buffalo, you can't move anywhere higher than the 2 seed. All right, Denver, Kansas City. We're going to go Broncos here. Kansas City's resting their starters. Broncos, they need this win to break the drought and get into the postseason. Going to go there. It's in Denver. The fans will be buzzing.
Oh, yeah.
I think we got this.
One of the 2 p.m. starts. You like that? I think they got this win, too, just because the Chiefs have a chance to have nobody in the AFC see Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase for this postseason. And that's a dream come true. If you look at just how they've been playing, the amount of points that they score in a game, you don't want to play the Bengals, man.
You really don't. All right. Our next matchup.
Jeez.
San Francisco, Arizona. One of our few games where there's neither team really has anything to play for. They're both of their seasons are over. I'm going to lean the Niners here to try to get a culture building win.
I'm leaning that
it's a team that the season just didn't go their way, but they still have the roster to be a playoff team, to be a powerhouse. So they're looking, I think, more than anything, to build on some momentum to take into next year.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think you do the same with the Cardinals, but that's a team that just has some more issues all around and a lot more things that need to be addressed. Where I'm like the Niners, if they had a few more breaks go their way, they stayed a little healthier. If they can retain some of that team, they can just be right back into the mix in the postseason next year. So looking for them to just get a culture building win here. Another game that doesn't really have any. Oh, I guess actually that's not true. Dolphins need to win and get in. They're playing the New York Jets. For that reason, even if Tua doesn't play, I think they figured something out with Tyler Huntley, Snoop Huntley, whatever you want to call him. I'm going to go with the Miami Dolphins.
I got them there too. It's just the Jets, they have nothing to play for, but they're not like playing that well. It's 4-12 season. That's pretty close to having a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
Very, very close.
Not this year, though. All right. Next game, Seattle, Los Angeles.
Is this
Rams have technically
for the division or no?
No, Rams have technically clinched that. They got it based off of strength of schedule. So even with a win here, I think the Rams would just have a better division record, or they might be tied division record. And so then the next thing in line is strength of schedule, which LA got. They had the teams that needed the win won for them. So
I'm gonna say the Rams might win it again, just to keep it rolling for the playoffs.
I think you're right there. I'm going to go with the Rams to just try to get a win to take it to the postseason. For that reason, I think we might see some of their starters early,
at least for like a little bit of that first half. I feel if they don't like pull out ahead super early, their starters out, they'll probably just bench them. And I think they're okay with losing, but they would want to. I think if I was anywhere with that organization, I'd want to go into the playoffs with a win.
Definitely pick up
a nice division win.
You've got like 3 ugly wins. I feel like you want to that might cause a little self-doubt there. Like, oh boy, like these have been some real dog fights we've been in against not like non-playoff teams. So against a team that could have been a playoff team, maybe try to pick up a good win here, build some confidence. That's at least where my headspace would be. Chargers and the Raiders. Interesting matchup here.
Same thing, honestly. I think the Chargers just want to win so they can get rolling for the playoffs, because they got really good teams that they got to play. They're a wild card. They're going on the road.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna want to have some momentum. You're going likely to Baltimore.
Yeah,
is where you're probably headed.
Yeah,
do you want to go into Baltimore with a week off? I don't know.
I wouldn't want to, especially after playing the Raiders.
Raiders also.
You're just sabotaging a team in your division to have a later draft pick. They probably need one of the top 3.
Yeah, I think the Raiders need to lose this game too.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go with LA. I might regret this, but week 8, the most hard to predict weeks of the season are like weeks 1 through 3, and then week 8.
It's always some divisional matchup where the best team plays the worst team, and you're like, all right, well, do they want to pick more than they want to win in the last game of the year?
Do you want to beat your rival? Do you want a high draft pick? Do you want to rest your guys? Like, are the backups going to play bad or good? Who that?
And all right. Find out a lot of the info today. It's Wednesday. A lot of the injury reports and who's in, who's out is going to come out today for most teams, but we'll see what happens.
Exactly. All right. Well, this is the absolute game of the week. Might be the game of the season so far. Minnesota Detroit.
Total, man. This point total is going to be up like 67.
And Doug, I'm rolling the Vikings.
I got it.
Minnesota wins and secures the 1 seed. I'm going like an 88 point total here, man. Combined in this game. Both of these teams could be in the 40s. Easily. This is going to be an absolutely nuts game.
Can't wait. And it's honestly, it's what Detroit doesn't want. Minnesota can put up just the amount of points as them, and they're going to be blitzing all game.
Right. Darnold, he could just sit back there. If he's the Lions' pass rush is not good, you're going to let sit back there with a pretty clean pocket most of the game. They'll pick you apart with those receivers out there.
Like Jimmy was saying, you blitz Darnold or Goff, they're going to give you a football. Now it's really they're just going to blitz Goff, and Sam Darnold is going to be like he's playing against a high school team out there, because his O-line is really solid too. Even in the run, They weren't able to get a lot of their run game going last week against the Packers, but still, like throughout the entire year, they kind of been able to lean on it at least a little bit now. It's not solely been in the passing game. I think they win though. You go into Ford Field though, which kind of helps out the Lions a little bit. You're not playing in Minnesota, not playing there, but anyone having to go to Minnesota in the playoffs, I don't want to do that. Heck no.
Nah.
Heck no.
I think Minnesota with home field is actually poised to put the team back too.
Oh yeah.
I really
field
do.
Advantage. They're playing in it's a dome, but it's still pretty chilly out there. They got some cold weather in Minnesota. The team's got to travel, and you're just going to be blitzing all day. That is just zone blitz city. You're coming into rival territory, loud stadium, and you're going to have 4 to 5 guys at the play. That's just going to be an amazing game, dude. I can't wait.
Somebody put was the fight of Godzilla versus King Kong, and that is literally the Brian Flores defense versus the Ben Johnson offense, because both of these guys, I think they're going into their bag. I mean, we're going to see some of the most exotic blitz packages Flores has ever pulled out of his bag. And I mean, Ben Johnson is going to just he's going to be pulling like play calls out of the ethereal realm.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we saw in that Niners game, hook and ladder for a touchdown. Like, I think we're going to see something even crazier than that, like with whatever this play call is. Dude, they're going to have like Goff's going to do like the Kenny Pickett. He's going to do like the fake Kenny Pickett until like a pitch behind him to Jamison Williams, who's going to throw a touchdown to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like he's going to come up, look like he's about to throw the ball to the ground,
just
toss it back behind him to Williams. Williams, he's going to roll out to where all the protection is, and just launch a bomb to Amon-Ra.
There's no Thursday game. What?
No Thursday game.
I
So
didn't even know that.
we'll be chilling Thursday night. Nothing really to do there.
Good night off though. This has been a lot of football, especially with the holidays. Like week 17 started 2 days after week 16 ended. The game started on Christmas.
Yeah, we just got right into it.
We were right in the thick of it. It's the holiday season. There's a lot of sports going on. We could all use a little Thursday night off. I got to work that night too, so I won't miss any of the game. That's why I said there's no Thursday night game. I'm a little excited that I can actually watch a little bit more Saturday.
Yeah, but be able to be fully invested. It's going to be a crazy week 18 regardless. It's such a weird week of the season. Crazy stuff always happens. So we're just looking forward to seeing what happens here. And we're gonna be here to recap it all next Monday for the final football frenzy of the regular season, and then we're into the playoffs, man.
Playoffs. Oh my gosh. I'm going into work today, and I'm going to take some weekends off. Probably the first wild card weekend. I want a Sunday off, and like NFC Championship, I definitely want to have that off. Definitely. Or I might honestly take the Super Bowl off over the NFC Championship game, just so I can watch the whole Super Bowl. Hopefully it isn't a crappy ending like last year.
Yeah, hopefully the Chiefs aren't in it. That's what we're all.
We just don't want them in it. Keep them away.
Yeah,
they don't need to be in the game, dude. They played enough.
Just keep the Chiefs out of the Super Bowl. That's all we want. All we're asking for this year. We should have left Kansas City.
Yeah, we should have all followed them.
Yeah, not next month. That guy didn't do anything wrong.
He did. He really did. Funny thing is, he still has like 3 million followers, which is like 1.5 million more than him.
Yeah, he still gained followers.
He gained followers,
even though he like went up to 8 million, then lost about 5 million.
Yeah, he has like 3 million left. He was at 8.4 was the highest I saw him, and then it was slowly dropping. But people just either forgot or they were like, I feel bad, and they just didn't follow.
Yeah. So I think maybe this was a low key genius marketing scheme by him to actually
was he the followers account that posted it?
Who knows? Yeah, or like one of his boys started that little trend, and they got everybody to unfollow, figuring like not everybody's gonna remember to unfollow. And like, there's no way he doesn't come out of it with some more followers. So.
Can we do this to like celebrities that are out of touch? Why are we just doing it to like random TikTokers? Right. Like, this guy's like 20 years old, just barely getting out of high school. I'm pretty sure he's still, other than making content, like, he still lives at home. Like, this is like a regular guy still. Let's go and let's like ignore somebody that, you know, has a huge ego. It's like always in the.
Let's mass unfollow Alec Baldwin. He literally killed the person.
Yeah, he did.
Screw him. Let's lose his. Let's like make him lose all his followers. Ignore him. Leave him in 2024.
And all those people in that production crew that allowed that to happen. Let's get them out of here. Get them out of here.
All right. Well, it's 10 o'clock. We've reached the end of our show today. Thank you everybody for watching and tuning in here. Happy New Year to everybody.
Yeah, to end on a lighter note, Happy New Year to everybody.
Exactly. Hopefully you've got some awesome resolutions you're looking forward to crushing this year. I know I certainly do. And yeah, looking forward to another year of Till the Final Whistle with you guys and playoff football. Thank you so much.
140 push-ups left, everybody. Just update. 140.
He's been cranking them out. All right. That is the end of our stream today. Thank you so much, everyone watching, and we will see you guys one day for a football frenzy.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us, giving our veterans a voice.